marketing partners, may I request everyone to take your seat? Again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and to our PICC members, our marketing partners, and other friends that have joined us today. Welcome to the 7th PICC Luncheon. My name is Jolan, and I hope that you all have an enjoyable and informative time with us today. Kevin Lewis, your normal compare, was forced to return to Australia due to the COVID-19 pandemic and is working in the field with a geophysical group and will be returning soon. Kevin is still at the helm of Second Chance Events and Consulting, the group that brings you the Philippine Infrastructure and Construction Club, as well as the Philippine Mining Club. Just before we get going, I would like to mention and thank our valued marketing partner, for without this company's assistance, this luncheon would not be possible. Our supporting partners: Cruz, Marcelo, and Tenefrancia, Fortune, Narvasa, and Salazar, Carillion Partners, Oli Consulting Group, our foundation partners, Site Skills Training. Site Skills Training offer international recruitment and workforce solution to the companies in the mining and processing, oil and gas, and construction industries. ACI Geophysical. ACI Geophysical and Geotechnical is a consultancy providing expert advice on survey design, implementation, and interpretation of geophysical data. And we have their marketing manager from Thailand, Nitipan Kaila. Please stand. Our principal partners, GHD. GHD has had a permanent presence in the Philippines since 1998, with over 600 professional staff spread across 3 cities in the Philippines. Their main office in Makati and 2 branches now in Cebu City and Quezon City. Focused on creating lasting community benefit, GHD leverages on its connected global network of 10,000 employees to provide engineering and environmental management services to key players in the energy and resources sectors. Today we have the Ronald Asho, GHD Business Development, and Edward Salayaw, Marketing Leader. Please stand. Prime BMD offers their clients services for major infrastructure projects throughout the Philippines and Southeast Asia. Expertise, experience, and resources are applied across the industry sectors of transport, water, ports, resources, and energy sectors. Our supreme partner, TerraGrail Geology and Geotechnics Construction Incorporation. Just over a year ago, TerraGrail decided to dive into the field of earth sciences and engineering with a dedicated team of geologists, civil engineers, and geotechnical engineers. They are well-versed in subsoil conditions throughout the Philippines. In turn, their expertise enabled TerraGrail to give clients the most cost-effective solution by delivering realistic and sound engineering solution for any project. From site investigation to geotechnical engineering to geophysical surveys and foundation design, TerraGrail provides the best solution tailor-made to fit any client's budget and needs, having worked on thousands of projects in various industries. Their track records demonstrate their expertise in a variety of environmental and geotechnical services. Please welcome President Clement Fajardo of TerraGrail. We are very fortunate to have this company with us and we hope to support them also. We are also affiliated with the Philippine Mining Club, Lighthouse Club Manila. We have Phil Toborn, the President and Chairman in the audience today. Please stand. Media partners, Philippine Resources and Construction Journal. I think the wonderful, beautiful ladies we have today, Cess and Marcel. Please stand. The Manila Times. Ladies and gentlemen, may I say a few words about our Emcee today. Attorney Patricia Bunye. Attorney Patricia Bunye is a senior partner and the deputy managing partner for administration of Cruz, Marcelo, and Tenefrancia. She heads its Mining and Natural Resources Department and the Energy Practice Group. She is also a partner in the Intellectual Property Department. She is a past president of the Licensing Executive Society International, LESI 2016-2017. The first Filipino in Southeast Asia to hold the position. She is also founding president of Diwata Women Resource Development Incorporation, a non-government organization that advocates responsible development of the Philippines' wealth in resources. She is an active member of the Chamber of Mines of the Philippines, Legal Committee, is a columnist in the Philippine Resources and Construction Journal. She is the 2021, 2020, 2019, and 2018 list of the Philippines' top 100 lawyers and has been cited by various international law research publications such as Chambers Legal 500, Asia Law, among many others. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now hand you over to our MC, Attorney Patricia Bunye.
Thank you very much, Jolan, for the very kind introduction. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be back as your MC and even happier that we are back in person. I had the pleasure of moderating events of both the Philippine Infrastructure and Construction Club and the Philippine Mining Club in the last 2 years over Zoom. But nothing beats seeing all of you again in person and renewing old friendships. Thank you so much for your support and for being here today. At this point, I wish to highlight the following. First, we will be issuing certificates of attendance should you need them. You can request copies from Ms. Joanne Falcotella, who just spoke and opened the program earlier. Her email address is joanne@picc.com.ph. Second, we will hold the Q&A after both our speakers this afternoon have made the respective presentations. And third, I would like to acknowledge that we have some VIPs in the audience today. First, Ms. Shara De Jesus, Business Development Officer of Santa Clara International Corporation. Shara, are you here? Good afternoon. Mr. Joey Aison, President of the Philippine Mining and Exploration Association, or PMEA. Joey? He's not here yet. Ms. Tiffany Ven Mahabong, Economic Officer, Embassy of the United States of America. Tiffany, are you here already? Not yet. And Kits Chuidian, President and Country Manager of Layton. Hello, Kits. Also our very good friends, Fernando de Achaval of Amtrak Logistics. Hello, Fernando. And Jennifer Alegre of Mega Philippines. Hi, Jennifer. Of course, we will take a very short break for lunch, and I will be back shortly at 12:50 p.m. for the most awaited presentations of our speakers. Meanwhile, please enjoy the video presentation of Terra Grill, our sponsor for this afternoon, and our other marketing partners. Again, good afternoon. Nice to see you all.
Welcome to Terra Grill Geology and Geotechnics. Just over a year ago, Terra Grill has decided to dive into the field of earth sciences and engineering with a dedicated team of geologists, civil engineers, and geotechnical engineers. We are well versed in subsoil conditions throughout the Philippines. enabling us to give our clients the most cost-effective solutions for any project related to soil and rocks. For ground investigation, we offer borehole drilling of rock and soil for site analysis, test pits, and bulk sampling to provide vital information of the subsurface material, dynamic cone penetration test to estimate the bearing capacity of soil, and agar. For your geophysical needs, we have a wide range of geophysical surveys for soil, groundwater, mining, and other geotechnical applications. We have an in-house seismic survey team capable of doing 2D and 3D seismic reflection, refraction, MASW, and downhole seismic survey for foundation designs and other geological applications. We also offer thermal conductivity tests, bathymetric survey, and other geophysical survey requirements for our clients. Our company also provides our clients with technical solutions and engineering recommendations for both onshore and offshore projects ranging from residential to heavy industrial structures. Our technical team has an advanced knowledge in a wide range of engineering design, such as bearing and pile capacity calculations using correlation formulas from borehole drillings and slope stability analysis for retaining walls and slope protection design, all of which using our in-house software and other licensed software like Plaxis, Slide 2D, and Settle 3D. As for our mineral exploration and mining services, we provide mineral resource estimation, mineral resource planning and targeting, mineral resource management and project, and exploration geochemistry, as well as petrographic and/or microscopic analysis. From catering to small-scale projects for residential and commercial buildings, we now provide our services to some of the most well-known companies in the Philippines. As the year moves on, TerraGrail will start venturing into different ground improvement works, such as soil nailing, stone column construction, board piles, and many more. Here at TerraGrail, there is no project too big or small. We guarantee our clients from any industry high-quality services at a lower cost.
This is our business. It's where commitment is born. A personal stake in everything we do. Innovation and technical expertise at our core. Responsibility deeply felt. We are relentless, curious, trailblazing, transforming with purpose. Helping communities connect. And people thrive. Globally, locally. With energy, water, and urbanization made sustainable for generations to come. Because your community is our community. Your challenge is our challenge. And your world is our world. GHD, the power of commitment.
The Philippine Mining Club and the Philippine Infrastructure and Construction Club are professional networking forums bringing industries together and creating opportunities for the Philippine mining and infrastructure and construction industries. Networking is about giving, not taking. It is about forming trust and helping one another toward mutual goals, and regularly engaging with your contacts and finding opportunities to strengthen relationships. Networking is a great opportunity to exchange best practice knowledge, learn about the business techniques of your peers, and stay abreast of the latest industry developments. Opportunities like partnerships, invitations to events, introductions, and giving talks and presentations bring challenges that benefit and feed your career, professional development, and personal interests. Gaining the advice of experienced peers is an important benefit of networking.
Generates around 90,000 jobs. Jolan is helping the company develop new products, expand the existing footprint, as well as study new regional expansions. He has over 17 years of project development experience from both local and international developers. He has managed the design, construction, and operations of multi-awarded projects in the Philippines and Indonesia, ranging from townships, industrial parks, commercial districts, commercial buildings, residential developments, institutions, hospitality, and public facilities. Part of this wide array of sectors includes the master plan for around 17,000 hectares of combined township areas, which includes Lima Estate, West Cebu Estate, MEZ2 Estate, and Hamilong Coast in the Philippines, and BSD City and Deltamas City Industrial Park in Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Jolan Formalejo.
Thank you, Attorney Patricia, for that generous introduction. And it's truly great to be back to face-to-face events. I think soon we'll miss that coat and shorts attire that we usually do during virtual meetings. I'm sure everyone can relate to that. Okay, so thank you to PICC for inviting us to this event, and a pleasant afternoon to all our industry partners that are here with us today. In the next 30 minutes, I'll be discussing about Lima Industrial Estates and its attractiveness as a future-ready next-generation estate that is backed up by the industrialization, investments, and infrastructure developments happening in Calabarzon, specifically Batangas City. But prior to that, allow us to play a 6-minute video about Aboitiz InfraCapital Economic Estate, specifically Lima Estate.
Integrated Economic Centers, or IECs, refers to our 3 industrial-anchored mixed-use developments: West Cebu Industrial Park, Mactan Economic Zone 2, and of course, Lima. All 3 of these IECs are located in fast-growing economic hubs and accessible through various transport networks. Spanning over 1,000 hectares, our IECs provide a full suite of ecosystem services such as water, power, and construction to our 189 locators, which employ over 90,000 people in their respective communities. Our strength in industrial-anchored estate operations and management is complemented by our commercial and residential components, giving workers and residents a flourishing and multifaceted township lifestyle. Of our 3 IECs, Lima is the largest, spanning 794 hectares, across Lipa and Malvar in Batangas. Because of its size and location, Lima offers a unique opportunity to exporters, domestic enterprises, developers, investors, and home seekers.
It currently plays host to 95 industrial locators who employ over 61,000 employees. About 35 locators are in the planning and construction phase, bringing our total locator count to 130. We also have a 138-room 4-star hotel development, 2,500 households within the vicinity, and 167 shops located in our mall establishments.
Now let's talk about the future of Lima. Over the last 8 years, we have succeeded in expanding the estate from 374 hectares to 794 hectares. We have launched 3 commercial projects and 1 residential project. Currently, we are constructing a 47-hectare industrial expansion in the next 6 months, we will begin to construct another 57-hectare expansion.
These future industrial areas will allow us to introduce new variations of industrial product types from traditional to more progressive. The main framework is to offer similarly large industrial cuts to replicate the success in sales take-up of the current development. This will be supported by more progressive industrial types that can include light industries, startups or SMEs with shorter lease periods and with high flexibility for conversion and upzoning in the future. Master planned efficiently in a grid pattern, the lots on these upcoming industrial zones are flexible for combining and subdividing to suit the locator's requirement.
InfraCap is also exploring an investment into data centers, which function as the critical infrastructure required to store, process, and distribute data. A data center in Lima will not only open up our group's capabilities in building and operating this important component of the data and information ecosystem, but can also offer relevant data solutions to our locators. The combination of fiber, towers, small cells, data centers, and the corresponding services that use them, such as broadband, mobile data, and 5G, are critical components that will enable the automation of our locators' facilities, the adaptation of smart city technology, and applications around the Internet of Things. As we continue to build out Lima, these digital infrastructure solutions will serve as the backbone infrastructure upon which we can transform Lima into a smart city.
Okay, so 2021 was a banner year for Aboitiz InfraCapital's economic estates, thanks to the regional and nationwide accolades that we have received from the past year. Last year, AIC bagged 9 honors, including the International Financial Real Estate Awards and the Property Guru Property Awards for the Best Industrial Developer in Asia. We were also recognized as the country winner for the Best Industrial Developer. Next slide, please. So in Aboitiz InfraCapital, we pride ourselves with our economic estates that are complemented by commercial, residential, and institutional components. This includes the 794 hectares Lima Estate located in Lipa and Malvar, Batangas, the 540 hectares West Cebu Estate in Balamban, Cebu, and the 63 hectares Mes 2 Estate in Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu. With our 3 economic estates, AIC continues to deliver innovative concepts translated into thriving, fully integrated industrial estates and commercial communities for 30 years. AIC has since been known for its deliberately planned and purposefully designed developments in emerging regions to enable businesses and uplift communities. Currently, we operate 1,100 hectares of industrial business parks, generating 90,000 jobs. We also have 100,000 square meter of leased commercial spaces, 60,000 square meter of leased office spaces, and 200,000 square meter PESA accredited office spaces under planning. Now let's talk about Calabarzon. Consisting of the provinces of Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, and Quezon, Calabarzon is the country's most populous region, with over 16.2 million people in 2020. In terms of land area, Calabarzon has 60,299 square kilometers and is home to countless industries. With such huge potential, we can now dive deeper into what Calabarzon has to offer and how it has fared amongst other regions in the country. As mentioned earlier, as you can see in this slide, Region 4A is a force to be reckoned with, as it has produced strong numbers in terms of economic growth, investments, and infrastructure developments. It has exceeded the national GDP growth and even had stronger numbers compared to the national capital region. Over 4 billion in foreign investment pledges and bank road projects are expected to pour into the region the first quarter of 2022. And almost 2,000 foreign companies operating in several economic states in the region. Calabarzon boasts a 66.8 million strong labor force, and with its close proximity to Metro Manila, the government has allotted millions of pesos to local infrastructures in the region. This includes major highways, airports, and seaports that connect the region in Metro Manila and the provinces in Visayas and Mindanao. But a key indicator to highlight is how Calabarzon is poised for industrialization and the outpour of investments in the South Luzon. With its vast available land area and its proximity to the NCR, Calabarzon is host to several industries such as manufacturing, includes automotive, electronics, agricultural, logistics, healthcare, construction, energy, tourism, and many more. So, Rizal, proximity to Metro Manila makes it perfect for investments. Laguna hosts the automotive manufacturing activity in the country. Quezon is host to the two large power plants in Mauban and Panbilao. Cavite and Laguna has critical mass of industrial estates as well as Batangas. But Batangas has a robust tourism industry with various ecotourism destinations and natural resources. With the region playing host to several high-growth industries in its strategic location, the national government has doubled down on high-impact projects to support Calabarzon by increasing mobility within and around the region. These projects include the Laguna-Quezon Connector Road, Tayabas Bypass Road, Lobo-Malabrigo-Leia-Saman Road, Tagaytay Bypass Road. Big-ticket projects such as the South Luzon Expressway Extension and the PNR South Long Haul Line is seen to boost Batangas as a gateway to neighboring provinces and to other parts of the archipelago. Aside from big-ticket road projects that will increase mobility into the region and aid in the logistics of the industrials within it, a particular province that is making strides in boosting infrastructure developments is Batangas. Batangas is boosting its infrastructure projects with the help of public-private partnerships, or PPP. These partnerships will help decentralize Metro Manila by opening up more employment opportunities through the construction of additional infrastructure and development facilities in the region. Among the projects in the pipeline includes the Batangas International Airport, Batangas Port Development of Phase 4, Batangas City Access Zone, Calamba-Batangas Railway Spar Line, and the Batangas Regional Food Terminal. Among the different provinces in Calabar Zone, investors have shifted their focus on one province in particular, which is Batangas. As the region's industrial powerhouse and the second richest province in the country in terms of net assets, land-rich Batangas has an existing industrial belt abundant with infrastructure and economic zones that are all ready for business. PEZA is batting for the creation of more economic zones in Batangas, which can host industries that include energy, food, manufacturing, and many more. So as the province of Batangas holds so much potential in leading what we call the industrial decentralization of Metro Manila, Aboitiz InfraCapital is at the forefront of welcoming investment and opportunities through our Lima estate. Lima Estate is a 794-hectare industrial economic estate located in the Lipa and Malvar Industrial Corridor. It is the top-selling and largest privately owned industrial estate in the Philippines and currently hosts 130 locators, 60,000 estate employees. It has 2,500 households, a 4-star hotel, and 167 shops. It is part of the Aboitiz group of companies, which is one of the country's leading conglomerates with over 100 years of doing business, consistently recognized as among the best managed company in the Philippines and in the region. The Lima estate is just an hour and 15 minutes away from Makati City and 30 minutes drive to Batangas Port. It is also surrounded by 51 residential communities, 24 colleges and universities, 142 primary schools, 88 secondary schools, and 10 recreational travel destinations. Outside of Lima is a home for workforce-rich province with almost 500,000 workforce along the bracket of 20 to 29 years old alone, and it's rapidly growing. Since acquiring Lima in 2013, Aboitiz have developed the estate into a fully integrated township, expanding its size from 374 hectares to now 800 hectares of industrial, commercial, and residential developments within an 8-year span. So showing herewith is how we are transforming from an industrial estate into an industrial anchor development or mixed use. Inside the central business district of Lima is around 30 hectares of land for higher value use. We also launched last year our commercial lots that are indicated here in yellow. In the render, we can see on what the CBD will look like once locators and ourselves starts to develop the commercial parcels. We also plan to build a transport hub. Then here we can also see future BPO complex in red, wherein we are planning to build our own 7-tower office complex. So the way we're developing our future CBD is not just to add components, but make sure that it's integrated with the latest technologies, forward-looking strategies, and ample open spaces to encourage convenient stay and pedestrian mobility around the complex. To activate our 7-tower BPO complex, shown here is our first office building called Lima Tower 1. We have broken ground early this year, and this will really usher in the next phase of transformation from commercial lifestyle basic necessities. Now we'll be able to offer office products. While new uses are actively launched, the continuous expansion of Lima's industrial footprint underpins the estate's growth by ensuring availability of ready inventories. Our 37-hectare saleable inventory for Block 9-1 is already 80% sold. The 48-hectare inventory for Block 9-2 is in full development as well, and Tier 1 expansion will start construction early next year. On top of these expansions, Aboitiz InfraCapital plan to transform the Lima estate into a sustainable economic center. We're looking at to reshape our economic estate into a smart, next-generation, future-ready economic center to draw more businesses and green development into the region. To validate our programs, we're proud to have been certified by PhilGBC as a birthday district, achieving a maximum of 5-star rating for both planning and implementation strategy. In the process, we have become the first industrial estate and the largest project in the Philippines to achieve this certification. Along this certification is our commitment to have all our buildings be birthday certified. Starting with Lima Tower 1, wherein we aim to get certified within the year. The estate has also partnered with Surbana Jurong, a global urban infrastructure and managed services consulting firm, to transform Lima services and infrastructure into a smart and future-ready estate. As our President Rafa de Mesa says, these green and digitization initiatives underscore our commitment to ensure those who would choose our economic centers will find a home that checks all the boxes in their ESG scorecards, now and in the years to come. Aboitiz is also fully complemented by a reliable infrastructure system, and we are supported by our affiliates. To name a few, Aboitiz Power and Lima Enerzone serves our power requirements, Lima Water serves our water requirements, and Aboitiz Construction helping us with the development. To discuss more estate facilities and services inside Lima. So we have fully equipped emergency response team, security systems, and telecommunication services. Lima Estate is also a one-stop shop offering SFBs to companies who immediately intend to start and expand operations, manpower support services to provide complete pool of skilled resources, and on-site financial services for corporate and personal banking convenience. Inside the park itself are PEZA and Bureau of Customs offices that provide 24/7 service to Lima Technology Center locators. They enhance our linkages with the LGUs, communities, business, and stakeholders. And finally, to show here some of our high-profile locators coming from various automotive, electrical, and electronic industries. So with that, I end my presentation, and thanks again for inviting us to share this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Jolan. We look forward to hearing more during the Q&A. Our next speaker is Mr. Antonio Peñalver. He is the Executive Director of Aboitiz Construction, and he plays a major role in the business growth and capability expansion of Aboitiz Construction. He leads the great transformation of the company in pursuit of becoming one of the best construction companies in the country. He earned his bachelor's degree in civil engineering from the University of Alicante, Spain, and completed his master's of business administration at the University Alfonso X. El Sabio for civil engineering and at the IE Business School for business administration, both in Madrid, Spain. Aboitiz Construction is the construction arm of the Aboitiz Group of companies, one of the most prominent construction conglomerates in the Philippines, or rather the prominent conglomerates in the Philippines. Aboitiz Construction is a privately held company with a 46-year track record in value construction and engineering that advances businesses and communities by building a better future for a better Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Antonio Peñalver.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. I hope that despite of my strong Spanish accent, you understand me. So, thank you so much. We are very grateful with the Philippine Infrastructure and Construction Club for having us today. And of course, thank you so much to all of you for being here with us. So, my presentation has two parts. First part, I'm going to introduce Aboitiz construction, and the second part, I will talk about best practices, but from a more strategical point of view. I think for me, there's no better way to introduce Aboitiz construction than starting with our mission statement. At Aboitiz construction, we drive change for a better world by building a better future for a better Philippines. Aboitiz construction is part of the Aboitiz conglomerate. We are the construction company. The conglomerate, the parent company is Aboitiz & Company, which is a privately held company by the Aboitiz family. It was incorporated 102 years ago. And from Aboitiz & Company, we have Aboitiz Equity Ventures, Aboitiz Construction, and Tunisia. Aboitiz Equity Ventures is the publicly listed holding company. The market cap is 5.5 billion USD. It has 5 major business units. Aboitiz Power, publicly listed also, around 4 billion USD market cap. Financial services, Union Bank, City Savings, PetNet, and in October we'll take over also the retail business of Union Bank. This is public listed, 3.2 billion USD market cap. Then we have a food group with Pilmico, local operations, Goldcoin, international operations in China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Sri Lanka. The real estate arm is Aboitiz Land and Infrastructure, my colleagues of Aboitiz InfraCapital, and under InfraCapital we have as well our investment in Republic Cement. So Aboitiz Construction, we are part of the Aboitiz Group, but we are still in the private part of the group. So what do? Briefly. We work in 3 major markets: industrial, infrastructure, and maintenance. In industrial, we work in civil works and structural mechanical piping in heavy industries, so oil and gas, cement, mining, chemical plants, power plants. In light industries as well, so we build commercial buildings, logistic facilities, manufacturing facilities. In infrastructure, which is a tremendously wide term, in ACI we are 100% focused in water cycle related projects, substations, transmission lines, land development, and we do pretty much a lot of marine works also. And in maintenance, we provide maintenance, routinary maintenance, and upgrading and shutdown works for heavy and light industries. So, what do we offer? We bring 46 years of consistent track record in the Philippines. I know there are companies bigger than us, shorter period of time, which is good, but I think in construction is essential your past experience. We do deliver projects under different schemes: EPC, design and build, main contractor, subcontractor, early contractor involvement. We do have in-house technical services, and we provide, as I said, maintenance services, so therefore we aspire to be single source service for our clients. And this is our footprint, obviously, after 46 years. We have implemented projects all across the Philippines. As well, we have several yards in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao to support our operations. I'll not go through all the list of projects very quickly, just some oil and gas, Zambales, Bataan refinery, chemical plants in petrochemical plant in Batangas, oleochemical in Misamis Oriental, cement, mining, we have designed, fabricated, and installed conveying systems in different mines, in Suribal Norte, in Palawan as well. In light industries, we design and build the commercial portion of the state's Lima state, the big facility for a shipbuilding company in Balamban, Cebu. Marine works, we have plenty of projects, but I'm highlighting here only the several expansions that we did in Davao for a private international container port. And the shipbuilding that we built in the shipyard that we built in Balamban. Tank storage, the same, we design and build, and we have pretty much a lot of references, and only highlighting the ones in Nueva Vizcaya and New Caledonia. So now I'm going to talk about the 3 best practices, and I said it's a little bit more about from the strategical point of view. The first one, we call it the big shift. This was a comprehensive business strategy that we carry out the second half of 2020, 2021, and we continue in 2022. There are 3 major pillars. First of all, we said, okay, so what do we want to do? We want to focus on revenue, growth. Our conclusion is we want to focus in providing execution excellence, because that's aligned with our values, and that's aligned with our vision as Aboitiz of long-term relationships with our clients. Second, we refocus target market. So we are only markets where we believe we have some added value, or we have a competitive advantage, or we see a growing market ahead. And the third that we carry out is a culture shift from the traditional culture of a 45 years old successful construction company. Perhaps we were complacent, perhaps we were passive, to re-energize the organization with the culture shift. The second strategy as a best practice is the One Aboitiz. The One Aboitiz it was implemented by our group CEO in 2020, and we continue. It's all about harnessing the individual opportunities of each business unit as a group. So the One Aboitiz is about creating ecosystems around our customers. We want to sell the power, sell the water, sell the land, provide the financial services. We want to build the facilities, and we want also that you buy the food from us. So that's the One Aboitiz mentality. The GT 2025, finally, GT stands for Great Transformation. This is a new strategy in 2022 implemented by our group CEO. This is about the transformation of our business. Our conglomerate is more than 100 years old. We do business in a very traditional way: water, power, housing, food, basic. The GT 2025 is about transform the way that we do business, and to do so, there is a cultural transformation from the old mindset of conglomerate to a new mindset, startup mindset. There is a technological transformation. We want to bring continuously innovation to our businesses. And we want to implement new technology as well as incubate businesses to help us to expand. There is an operational component. We want to transform our business processes, our business models. And finally, obviously, the target is the financial transformation. We want to reach exponential growth. In Aboitiz construction, translated to construction, there are 3 major pillars here supporting this. First, we want to have certain percentage of our revenue recurring. Construction is tremendously cyclical, everyone knows. So ACI, we want to have a certain percentage of a recurring revenue. The second pillar is the digital transformation. We think in ACI that there is a lot of value in to bring digital processes in our systems, and that's why we are investing in, during these coming years to transform ACI into a digital construction company. And the third pillar is again people. is again transform the mindset of our team members to instill accountability, responsibility, and at the end what we want is everyone having owner's mindset, which is so much needed in our business. So with this, my presentation is very short. With this, I end my presentation. From Aboitiz Construction, we are confident we are going to achieve our target of growth. And well, this is an endless transformation for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peñalver. That was certainly very inspirational. And as I open the Q&A, I think I'd like to ask the first question. And I just wanted to highlight that when we were doing these, they were Zoom sessions in the past, over the last 2 years. My observation was comparing the Zoom and in-person events. The participants were a lot more spirited in the Zoom, and I think they were uninhibited in asking questions. So I want to see this afternoon if our participants would also be uninhibited in asking questions. But as I said, I'd like to ask the first question. Mr. Peñalver, you said that the focus of your company is GT 2025, the Great Transformation, and also the One Aboitiz, and you are focusing on many areas of transformation, and this trickles down to the people and accountability. And I'm wondering if you were to share with our audience today how exactly you make sure that this is done throughout all the companies in the group, because you outlined for us all the companies within the Aboitiz group, how this message of One Aboitiz, transformation, etc. trickles down to every person in your group.
Very good question. Obviously, I'm only responsible of Aboitiz Construction, therefore I cannot speak for the other. But believe me that our group CEO, he really is always emphasizing all these three, right? The GT 2025, because for us is we believe in the transformation of the group. We believe in the new Aboitiz, the new transformation from a traditional conglomerate with a basic way of doing business to a tech conglomerate. The One Aboitiz is already in place. We are collaborating with Aboitiz InfraCapital in Lima, with Aboitiz Power in Davao. So that's already in place. And well, as I said, no, our president and CEO, Sabine Aboitiz, is always on top of us, reminding us.
And I think if I may add, Aboitiz, as mentioned by Antonio, we are transforming from a traditional conglomerate to the future and first tech conglomerate in the country. And with that, it's more of focusing on innovation and technology at the forefront of the business, and ensuring that our culture, our technology, our processes, our operations, and even financial management are all geared towards that. So it's encouraging that entrepreneurial and startup mindset amongst every employees in the company so as to achieve that vision.
I'm happy that you pointed out the tech aspect, because in your presentation, one thing that I think you want to point out to your locators is that they are supposed to be smart cities, they're digitally ready, you know. Maybe you would like to say a little more about that?
Yeah, for Aboitiz InfraCapital economic estates, we need to be at par with the regional industrial operators. And for us to do it, we need to partner with organizations like PhilGPC to help us with our sustainable alignments to international standards, as well as partnering with Sir Jerome to ensure that our implementation for smart state is aligned with what the regional players are doing. So the center of these initiatives is centric on the services that we offer to locators. So this is all about giving seamless way of doing business once they partner with us.
Thank you, Jolan. May I invite questions now from the audience?
In regarding to clean energy, what are you guys implementations in that regard for the new constructions as far as the buildings, the commercial buildings?
Yeah, I think for our economic estates, we are partnering with Aboitiz Power, specifically with Aboitiz Renewables Incorporated. So they're the ones who provide all this renewable energy to our commercial establishments as well as to our locators. And even for the first building that we are constructing at the moment, the Lima Tower 1, we are also gearing towards Verde certification, which is aligned, which a big portion of it is about clean energy usage. Aboitiz Power has also been at the forefront of clean energy in the country, offering clean power not only to Batangas, but the whole country, even Metro Manila.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Noel Lucas, geologist. We're just curious. You got a geothermal power plant that generates 450 megawatts, and we're putting up a business center, which basically would use up to 20 megawatts or more. So how do you allocate 450, which is needed by the Luzon grid for power generation? Do you plan to do other renewable like solar? I didn't see any solar or any wind beam in your project. So what's your plan?
Yeah. So I think if we fly over Lima State, one thing that you'll observe is that most of the locators' rooftops are solar powered. Most of them. And for this business park that we are building right now, it's a 30-hectare CBD. As mentioned earlier, we're gearing towards Verde, and part of the requirement is that 10% of our power consumption must be from clean energy. So a portion of that will be coming from Akpan, the geothermal plant that we have inside.
Any plan on the other source? Wind?
Yeah, as of the moment, we have not studied wind yet. But perhaps for our other industrial estates like Cebu, which is fronting the sea, perhaps there's big potential for a wind energy source. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah, because the Norwegians are coming in, and then they have a new technology on the wind, which can generate. Normally, the windmills here are only 1 megawatt per windmill, but this one is 12 times a windmill. It's called the marine turbine. Maybe if you're...
Yeah, we'll be interested to take a look at that technology.
Yes,
yeah.
I'll be happy to help.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Kim Abelia of Green Development Sustainable Solutions. We're an engineering and environmental consulting firm. And Aboitiz Power is one of our clients. Their geothermal power plant, their hydropower, their solar, and also their wind. So, and I'm just adding something to what Sir have said. And Aboitiz Power is also developing wind power projects. One of the site locations is in Pangasinan. Yes.
Antrax. Antonio, it's for you. What happens to what's happening already with the Balamban yards? You guys are not going to do fabrication anymore? Is that out of the question? Because you haven't spoken about that, and our experience as a logistics company was moving stuff out of there that you were exporting. So is that the focus has changed now?
You rather ask this one over a dinner, no?
We can do that. Okay, Eric.
No, joking. Well, actually, when we said about the refocused target market, the fabrication yard, we shut it down. Okay, so we are not fabricating anymore in Balamban, Cebu. We do have the yard, but we are not fabricating anymore because we are uncompetitive in the international market. Economies of scale, location of the yard, there's several reasons, right? So basically that's a thing. Yeah.
Good afternoon, I'm Bart Monforte of Conex. I understand you have done some mini hydro projects, especially in the south. And then 5 years ago, you've been so aggressive on getting more hydro projects, especially in the north. But I don't know, all of a sudden, you know, your stamina or your aggressiveness went down. You're still considering that, the hydro projects? Mini hydro projects.
Sir, that's Aboitiz Power. We are the contractor. Aboitiz Construction, we are just contractors, and Aboitiz InfraCapital, they develop infrastructure. Aboitiz Power, I don't know. I know they are developing some hydro in the north, but not exactly, to be frank, capacity.
But you're working hand in hand with them, right? If there are some projects like that, no?
We are their power users.
We will invite Aboitiz Power next time because you're all asking power questions.
Our big brother.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry to butt in again, but yeah, since we're doing the consulting for Aboitiz Power hydropower projects, the mini hydropower projects in the north, which are located in Benguet mostly. So they are pushing through the other hydropower projects. But for the other projects that they are doing, yes, they are having problems with the indigenous people. Yeah, so that's what they need as well.
Prior to today, we received some questions from those who registered in advance. This one is for Antonio. What kind of maintenance capabilities does Aboitiz Construction have?
Well, we do mechanical maintenance, industrial mechanical maintenance, routinary maintenance. Now we are working a big mine that it has inside a coal power plant. So we are with all the mechanical and even structural maintenance. Yeah, those are it. And we work routinary maintenance, so across the year, and we help them as well with shutdown works.
Thank you. And then for Jolan, because you spoke about all the awards that were received by Aboitiz InfraCapital, of course we'd like to know, this means that you're in a position to share some best practices for our audience. And it was a banner year, of course, for AIC. Anything that you'd care to share with the audience in that regard?
Yeah, I think for 2021 has been a banner year, but for 2022 it's more of an execution for us. Most of the activities that we do are the completion of the construction of our industrial footprints, as well as introducing new products like commercial apps. But apart from this, we are also investing heavily in our West Cebu estate, located in Balamban. So that's the country's shipbuilding capital. And with this 40 hectare of industrial expansion, we are delivering 14,000 new jobs once completed. And it will also diversify that estate from a heavy industry to light and medium industry as well.
Because you highlighted several industries in your presentation earlier, that would be your focus.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because certainly this would play a great part in decentralizing Metro Manila, and Batangas is the focus of these efforts. But in Calabarzon, next to Batangas, would Aboitiz InfraCapital in the later stages shift to the other parts of southern Luzon? What would be the next area of focus, if we may ask?
Yes, I think at the heart of everything that we do is really providing jobs. No? So as of the moment, there's 90,000 jobs that are either directly or indirectly supported by our economic estates. So we want to replicate that model, not only in Batangas and Cebu, but also to the other regions. So short answer to the question is yes, we're exploring other regions.
For both of you, I mean, since we have a number of companies represented in the audience, if you were asked, what types of partnerships or collaborations are you looking at?
Yeah, well, thank you for the question. From Aboitiz Construction, of course, we are always continuously searching for suppliers, subcontractors, and of course, another companies that we can partner with, like our friend Kids of Layton. So, yeah, basically partners to work together, and suppliers and subcontractors, and clients, obviously.
Yeah, I think same with Aboitiz Construction. So we need our industry partners, consultants, suppliers, and contractors to help us bring our plans into fruition. So as of the moment, we are currently engaged with various contractors in our economic estates, and Aboitiz InfraCapital is one of them. Aboitiz Construction.
Yes, Fernando.
I know Aboitiz Infra is quite a large group. What are the other big business units along the infrastructure? I mean, we're working with Unity Digital, your telecom. So I'm wondering what else is being developed at the moment.
Yeah, that's right, Fernando. So for Aboitiz InfraCapital, we have various groups, business units. Aboitiz Economic Estates is one of them. We also have the Unity Digital Infrastructures, which are into shared towers and small cell sites. Then we have Agua and Lipa Water, as well as the Balibago Water for the water services. And we also are into airports. So for Unity Digital Infrastructure, they are aggressively hitting, I think their target is around 1,000 towers by the end of the year. And for Agua, they'll be completing the water services in Davao in the same year. So those are the big projects that are happening inside Aboitiz InfraCapital at the moment. Supported with Aboitiz Construction. One Aboitiz.
Doing any airports at the moment? Any new airports at the moment?
As of the moment, none, but currently we are a major stakeholder for, I think, the one in Bohol, Lingan Airport, yeah, and also the Bicol International Airport. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Gav from C1 Philippines. Let me ask about, with regards to your, what is your practice with regards to your contractors and suppliers in order for you to both grow at the same time? As you also said that Aboitiz is looking into growing to the next years. Actually, any company naman would be trying to grow into the next years. But what is your take on what are your practices for your contractors and suppliers with regards to that?
I think Aboitiz InfraCapital, or the group as a whole, is recognized for really exercising complete integrity and due diligence in the way we execute our projects. And for us to achieve that, the usual practice is we invite as much vendors as we do. And usually they go into this accreditation process, same as other companies. But what I can share is that for the economic estates that we have done, we have contractors that started small, but they delivered and they grew with us. So this is same thing for consultants. So we partnered with one, they delivered, then they grew with us. So the same partnership that we are exercising to all the vendors that becomes our partners.
Yeah, for Aboitiz construction is pretty similar. There is an accreditation process, there is a rating process also at the end of the project. Of course, there is a competitive bidding, and we need to look at the bottom line, because at the end of the day, that's what it matters, right? But it is true that we have long-term subcontractors since 15 years ago, and well, some of them are bigger than us already, but anyways. Yeah, basically it's very similar to them.
Any more questions from the audience? Perhaps we have time to take one or two more questions before we close the Q&A. I'll ask one more for both of you, because you, obviously Antonio has overseas experience, but Jolan has too from Indonesia. And I was wondering what this has brought to your stints at Aboitiz, that you have applied to your current roles.
Well, I don't know exactly, but I think perhaps number one, since when you are exposed to many different environments, many different people, etc., perhaps you gain critical thinking, and perhaps you gain common sense as well, and the capacity to. I always say we need to look at the problem, zoom in, and then later zoom out to resolve it, right? So that's basically the experience, person speaking, right? That I can tell you that I gained working in different countries, different people, different business situations, because that's really important as well. You know, the same companies that need a turnaround, companies that are doing well, it depends.
Yeah, I think for my case, since I worked for 6 years in Indonesia, and most of our industrial developments there are foreign locators as well. And one thing I've learned there is really all these foreign companies put a lot of consideration to the ESG practices of that particular developer. It's something that's aligned to their corporate targets and values, and it's the same thing that they look for once they look for an industrial estates where they will be constructing or building their businesses. So along with this criteria that they look for, of course, they're always into looking for a ease of doing business, the cost of doing business. So something that I bring home and make sure that all our estates are ready for that, because these are the same locators that we are talking to.
Thank you very much. And with that, I will now close the Q&A and invite Mr. Clement Fajardo of Terragrail Geology and Geotechnics to present our plaques of appreciation to our two speakers, Mr. Antonio Peñalver and Jolan Formalejo. Please give them a round of applause. As is customary in all these PICC events, you have 5 minutes to place your cards here. Your last chance. first one goes to Kevin Abarca. Kevin Abarca of Shield Creek. Hi Kevin, here's your. Thank you. Fernando, I did not, okay, this is yours. Second bottle of wine. No favoritism, but that's Fernando. Kim Abelia. Third bottle of wine. Thank you very much. And to conclude this afternoon's event, I just want to announce again that if you need certificates of attendance, you can request them from Joan Falcutella. Here's her email address on the screen. And we thank you once again for being here today and for your continued support of the Philippine Infrastructure and Construction Club. Please watch out for our upcoming events on the website, picc.com.ph. You can email info@picc.com.ph for your inquiries. Also info@secondchanceevents.com. Information is also on the Facebook page, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You may join either the Philippine Mining Club, the Philippine Infrastructure and Construction Club, or both if you wish. And please stay on if you wish. There are drinks at the back. Stay as long as you like. And have a good afternoon, everyone. This concludes today's luncheon. Have a good Friday.